To survive in the shift age, companies and employees must relentlessly pursue continuous improvement. Your company is adopting a new way of doing business that will help you stay ahead of the pack. But making it work will require your having a clear understanding of what inspirational leadership and process discipline means in your company. Definitions must be precise because it's impossible to communicate when words mean different things to different people. Could an orchestra survive if E sharp meant something different to each section? You'll be expected to use a process vocabulary. Learning a new meaning for leadership and management is your first assignment. Using a common vocabulary will reduce costly errors and improve productivity. As of now, industrial age definitions of management and leadership are gone. You're going to have to let go. To grow, you must first push all previous understandings out of your mind. In your company, management consists of processes designed to harmonize individual contribution. Management is less about personal authority and more about process discipline. Process helps people execute their assigned responsibilities the right way, at the right time, and at the right cost. Leadership, by contrast, is inspirational. Its purpose is to generate energy, encourage creativity, and foster a will to win and desire to belong. Inspirational leadership is intended to positively influence the attitudes, the hopes, and the fears of everybody in your company, as well as its customers, suppliers, and investors. To focus the new meaning of management and leadership, let's return to the metaphor mentioned previously, where we compared jazz band-oriented small business to larger companies that perform like an orchestra. People in successful growth-oriented companies must follow process, the business equivalent of a musical score. A successful concert depends on each musician performing his or her part as written. Random improvisation in an orchestra would wreak havoc. In an orchestra, specific parts within a particular musical score may not be challenging or exciting, but the collaboration between musicians, be they a solo violinist or a cymbal player, fosters respect for everybody's contribution and a shared pride in the group's collective output. The conductor's job is to recruit musicians, select the music, facilitate rehearsals, reinforce adherence to the written music, and extract peak performances from the group. Typically, conductors do not play an instrument, even though most of them can. Regardless of what section a player is in, they appreciate that their individual part contributes to the orchestra's primary goal, producing audience delight. It's a group exercise. In your company, the equivalent of each player's written part will be called a task process. Task processes combine to execute the company's operating plan. Every position, including yours, will be held accountable to produce the specified results. Orchestras need a conductor. Someone has to wield the baton, but it's the composer and the musicians who have the greatest impact. Because of this, your owner has decided to make inspirational leadership everybody's business. The behavior of every individual in the company is either generating or depleting energy. There can be no neutral ground. In this fiercely competitive world, successful companies can no longer tolerate employees who negatively impact morale. Just as the first chair in a violin section does not tell other violinists what to play, department heads and supervisors will no longer be telling you what to do. That's going to be the job of your company's cultural values and its task processes. Unlike the industrial age chain of command, supervisors will no longer be your primary source of knowledge. Your supervisor's job is to ensure that the task processes assigned to you are performed as written and that you are producing the desired outcome. Following task processes without close supervision is a huge responsibility, but your company appreciates the benefit of empowering you to do so. How does a company go about balancing the inspiration of leadership and the discipline of process? Think back to the first generation 3D glasses, the ones made of cardboard with red and blue plastic lenses. Looking through the left lens, you'd see the movie surrounded by red squiggly lines. The right lens produced blue lines around the same image. But when you open both eyes, poof, the lines have disappeared and the action seemed to jump right off the screen at you. We'll be referring to inspirational leadership as the blue lens and process discipline as the red lens. To understand the unique function of each, it helps to consider them one at a time. Join me on a mental journey that will explain how high-performing companies balance inspiration and discipline. You're going to have to use your imagination a little bit. Now imagine you're standing out in the foothills looking at the Rocky Mountains. You're standing there looking, but really there are two people inside one body. There's a 5-year-old, the 5-year-old that's never grown up, still there. We're going to call him the pirate because he's creative, he's enthusiastic, he's always worried, sad, mad, glad. And then there's the admiral, the grown-up individual with a good education. They're standing there looking at the mountains, and the little guy, the pirate's excited. Wow, can you imagine ourselves standing up on the top of that thing looking down? We'd be king of the world. The admiral looks at it and says, do you have any idea how long it would take to get there and some of the implications of trying to make it that far? But the little guy isn't impressed. He's just excited about the possibility of being up there. Now, in this particular scenario, the pirate wins. They decide they're going to go to the mountains. The admiral looks out and sees a tree off in the distance and says, you know, if we leave now, in 3 hours, I could have us to that tree. Well, the pirate is excited because the tree's on the way to the mountains. So away they go. The pirate bouncing up and down enthusiastically, and the admiral making sure that they're keeping the pace up and that all the equipment is with them. When they reach the tree, the admiral feels really secure because he's met his objective. He got to the tree by 3 o'clock. The pirate's still excited because the mountains are a little clearer now. They're closer. The pirate wants to celebrate, but the admiral, he's thinking about the next leg of the journey. He takes his binoculars and he checks out and says, uh-oh, I can see a river down there that we couldn't notice from where we started. So he turns to the pirate and says, we're going to have to go back for 2 miles and then go west to get around a river up there. The little guy is disappointed. He collapses. Oh, I thought we were going to the mountains. What's going on around here? Nobody knows. Who's running this ship? You're not going to get me to get excited about any further trips. Not me. But the admiral takes the time to explain. This is just a small deviation. We're still headed to the mountains. Once reassured, the little guy regains his enthusiasm, and off they go. That's the way inspirational leadership and process discipline works. The essence of the story is that you'll have many opportunities to inspire, to treat each other respectfully, and to keep things moving towards a shared, preferred future. The pirate symbolizes your capacity to inspire, while the admiral's discipline represents your capacity to manage assigned task processes. Keep your imaginary 3D glasses handy. You're going to need them. Analyze each challenge one lens at a time. Balance the pirate and the admiral, and listen respectfully to each of them. They have a role to play. Ask yourself, which one do you bring to work most often?